Good morning, property leaders. I'm former United States Army Sergeant Anthony Russell, and today we're going to be talking about expenses. Okay, property leaders, don't forget to smash that like and subscribe button. It really helps my channel out. Okay, let's get on with the question here. The question is from Cora. This user asks, what expenses do you need to consider when running a rental? Very common question. A lot of people get tripped up on this because the answer is actually pretty simple. And there's like a million examples of it out there. Try Google. No, so the answer is a few things. The mortgage payment being the first, that should be the obvious one. That's going to cover your principal, interest, taxes, and insurance. Okay. The mortgage payment is obviously one big expense. Another expense is your utilities. Some landlords pay all the utilities. Some landlords pay no utilities, but it's going to be dependent on the property that you pick up. The utilities that I cover for some of my tenants is just water. The water bill, I can't pass that on to all of my tenants in every unit because in some of my buildings the meters aren't separate, and in my state, if the meter isn't separate, the landlord has to pay the water bill. So keep that in mind when you're buying rentals. Another thing is capital expenditures. Some people don't like to account for this. This is like setting money aside for repairs that will probably happen, but haven't happened yet. So taking in account for like the toilet that's going to break in 6 months, or the refrigerator that's going to go bad. There's different rules of thumb on this. I set aside 10% of my gross rent. That's what I do. I set aside 10% of my gross rent. I put it in savings. I don't touch it. It's there if we need it for repairs. And let me tell you, keep money aside for repairs. There is nothing more warming. There's nothing more like a fuzzy blanket of a savings account when you get a massive repair. So just set that aside. You're gonna thank yourself. Some additional fees that you may or may not have depending on how you set up your business. Credit card processing system. Our system, so we'll do two together. So the credit card processing system and the online system that you use for managing your rentals. I use Buildium. Full disclosure, affiliate link is in the description below if you'd like to check out Buildium. But I use Buildium. They're a great service. We've been using them for about 6 years now. And they handle our lease signing. They handle our credit card processing fees. They handle everything. Everything that I need to do electronically for my business, I do through Buildium. They have like an a la carte system. They have an annual fee, and then they also charge me per item. So that's how the a la carte system works. Instead of getting an all-in-one package, I pay for each individual thing. So like if I need to sign a lease this year, then I will pay for that lease signing. If I don't need to sign a lease, I don't pay for it. Same thing with credit card processing. I think they just changed the fee. I think it's like 3.5% or something like that. Don't quote me on that, but they charge you every time you swipe a credit card. But that's going to be any processor you go through. They're all going to charge you per swipe. So you're going to want to account for that stuff. Another thing you're going to want to account for is landscaping and snow removal. You got to cut the grass. You got to, because if you don't, you'll get a fine from the city. So either you're going to be out there cutting the grass, or you're going to pay some kid on the street $20 to cut the grass, or you're going to hire a company to cut the grass. We have a company every year that just does all of our properties, and we get a bulk deal for that, as well as the snow removal. I have the same snow removal company for basically the entire time I've run my business. I've had the same snow removal company, and they even do my house. They're good people. Okay, some final thoughts on expenses. You're going to want to also set aside for taxes. I know people don't like to think about this, but when your rent comes in, it's not like your paycheck. There is no money forcibly held off to the side to cover your tax bill at the end of the year. You have to cover your tax bill. And if you make over a certain amount, then you'll have to pay quarterly taxes. I've had to do that for quite a while. That sucks, but that's how it works. So make sure you're setting aside money for taxes. I don't want to speculate on what your tax bill is going to be, so contact your CPA. They should be able to give you advice over the phone for free, probably, on what a good percentage is based on your situation. And then finally, I hope this isn't you, but HOA fees. Don't forget about those. HOAs are the worst. I don't even want to get into HOAs, but they're the worst. But you might have a rental property in an area where you have an HOA fee, so you'll have to set aside for that as well. I hope that's helpful for you. If you recognize your question from Cora, reach out to me. I'll give you a free copy of my book, Leadership for Landlords. If you'd like a copy of my book, Leadership for Landlords, check it out on Amazon, available now in paperback and ebook. Please make sure to hit that like and subscribe button. All right, property leaders, get out on patrol, get into those buildings, and find something to fix, huh?